Hello, welcome to a little bit of super little shenanigans. You may want some kind of cushion bolster type thing for a bit of support, and you may want a blanket. So, quite good to have some props available. And then we're going to come to lying and start lying. Lengthening out. We'll just take the hands to the belly to start with. Soften, let the legs fall out, let the shoulders be heavy. Maybe draw the chin to the chest a bit. Find some length in the back of your neck. And then just notice your breath. Releasing, see if you can release any tension through this torso. And as you inhale, you feel the belly pressing into the hands. As you exhale, you can feel it fall away. Finding the spaciousness as you inhale. And then feeling that wave of softening sweeping through the body as you exhale. Letting the jaw be heavy, the eyes soft. And then let's take the hands down by your sides and stretch out through the fingers as much as you can. So spread the fingers, think about the tips of the fingers. Stretching out as far as you can. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, soften all the way through the arms into the shoulders. Feel the weight of the shoulders. We're going to do the same with the legs. So spread the toes and then point them away from you as much as you can. Engage all the way through the legs. Take a nice deep inhale and then release it all as you exhale. Another couple of breaths. Each exhale, find a bit more weight through the body. And then let's engage the feet. So toes to the ceiling. And then sending the right foot away. So pointing the toes on the right foot, sending that away. You'll make that right hip move down a little bit. Swapping over. So drawing the toes to the ceiling on the right foot and sending them away on the left, stretching out, feeling that lengthening on the top of the foot, maybe a bit of a pull at the hip, and we'll go again. Right toes point, left toes to the ceiling, swapping it over, and again. And then we'll point both toes away and inhale the arms up and over the top of the head. Stretch out through the fingertips and the toes. Moving the feet, so taking the feet a little bit over to the right and then maybe moving the arms a little bit over to the right too. So you're making a banana shape. Breathing into the left side. Deep space as you inhale and the softening as you exhale. Coming back to center and then taking those legs over to the left, arms over to the left, banana stretch the other way. Come back to center. Float the arms back down. Palms down. Arms by your side, bending the knees, taking the feet so they're hip width apart, spreading the toes, even pressure through the feet, nice long back of the neck. This next little shamu is a sacrum, a little sacrum movement exercise. It's really subtle. The movement is not a lot, so you don't have to make a lot of effort with this. Taking your attention to your right shin. Inhale, and as you exhale, send the right shin forward. So it's kind of right shin, right knee going towards the right foot. And as you do that, you should feel your right hip go forward and your left hip go back. Hold that as you inhale again. Release as you exhale. Come back to that neutral position. Attention to the left shin. Inhale. Exhale. Let that left shin move forward towards the foot. Left hip goes forward, right hip goes back. Hold as you inhale. Release as you exhale. Inhale. Right shin. Hold it as you inhale. Release as you exhale. Left shin. Inhale. Exhale. Send the left shin forward. Hold as you inhale. Release as you exhale. And again, inhale. Right shin as you exhale. Hold. And release. Inhale. Left shin. Hold. And release. Inhale. Right shin. Hold. And release. Inhale. Left shin. And release. Find the length through the back of the neck again. Check in with the hands and the feet. We're going to roll up into bridge now. So you tilt the pelvis so the lower back flattens on the mat even. Check in with the feet and then you start to push through the feet and roll up through the spine. So the bottom lifts off and you roll up vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping the knees parallel. So don't let them fall out. Lifting, starting to lift the hips with the bottom. So you're driving the hips up as high as you can with your bottom. Breathing here. You've had enough. Slowly, slowly, slowly release yourself back down through the vertebrae, cog by cog, and completely release when you get down. Feel that lumbar curve return. Okay, we're going to go up again. So when you're ready, tilt the pelvis, push through the feet, engage those buttock muscles as you roll up the spine all the way up. Breathing here. And when you've had enough, rolling back. Bring the right thigh into the chest. Interlace your fingers, pop them around the shin, and draw that thigh in a little bit more. If it feels the right thing to do, you could extend the left leg away. Keep the length through the neck, keep the shoulders soft, keep the jaw heavy. And then you could play with pointing the toes on that left foot and then flexing them, drawing the toes towards you as much as you can. Just play with that. Notice how that changes what's happening in the hip, in the legs. Releasing the right leg, popping the foot back down on the floor, and then bringing the left thigh into the chest. Interlacing the fingers, drawing that thigh all the way up into the chest. Breathing here. If there's any tightness or tension, see if you can direct the breath there. Imagine the space that the inhale brings and the softening that the exhale brings. You could extend that right leg away. Keep squeezing that left thigh into the chest. And then if you want to point the toes away from you and flex the foot, you can play with that. Okay, and then bringing the right thigh into, and you can have a little rockety-roo here. So you can rock from side to side. You could see what bringing your head off the ground feels like. You could bring your head towards your knees. And then you could rock yourself back down. And put the feet back down. So we're going to do some windscreen wipers now, a little twist, which you may or may not want some support to the side of you. It can be nice. I've got a bolster, but any kind of cushion, rolled up blanket, anything can do. You just pop it to the side. We'll inhale, take the arms up, fingertips to the ceiling, and then as you exhale, turn the palms so they face each other and sink the shoulder blades. Taking the arms out to your side, palms facing up. Check those shoulders again, check the length through the neck. Take a nice deep inhale. And your exhale drops the knees to the right. If you put your bolster on, that is. And then you could look to the left if that's comfortable for you. And let the tongue be heavy and the jaw be heavy. Feeling yourself releasing down into this. It wants to be really comfortable. You want to just be able to release into it. So give yourself as much height on these knees as you need. That might mean a couple of bolsters. That might just mean a blanket. But really it's worth getting yourself super comfy so you can breathe. And you can breathe down this left side. You can breathe into the hip. There's also an option to push through the inside edge of your left foot, and that can bring a bit more stretch into the hip if you like it. And then you can bring those legs back up. If you're using a bolster, you'll be needing to, unless you've got two, you'll be needing to pop it down the other side. Again, a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, you drop the knees down to the left and look to the right. Breathing. noticing the tightness, any tension, and seeing if you can direct the breath there. Inside edge of the right foot, if you want to, you could push through that and get a little bit more stretch in the hip. And then draw yourself back to center and check in with all of that. We can bring the knees in again. Let's bring the knees in again and have another little zhuzhi rock from side to side. Again, if you want to kind of bring your head up towards your knees a little bit and then come back down. It's good for the tummy, that is. Good for the tum. Okay, and then bring the feet down and we're going to come onto our side. So let's come onto our left side. You might want something for your head here, so your blanket might be quite nice. I just bend my bottom arm. Put my head on that. That seems to be about right. Okay, the setup for this is really important. This is clam. You want everything stacked. So the ankles are stacked, the knees are stacked. And then to stack the hips, oh, and your knees are right, and you're coming straight out, the knees coming straight out from the hips, and you're making right angles with your knees and with your ankles. And then you'll find that you've collapsed down. So this left side of your body is collapsed down onto the floor. Now what we need to do is stack our hips, and the top hip at the moment is coming up and we want it to go down. So you want to think about your top hip and you want to send it down towards your feet. And as you do that, you'll come off the mat a little bit, or the pressure will come off the mat a little bit. And you want to hold that, which that means you've got to engage your belly muscles. So your transverse abdominis now will really help, amongst other things, I'm sure. Okay, and then you keep your ankles firmly together and you lift your top knee and nothing else moves. So there's a real tendency for this to lean back. People do that. Whee! So we're not doing that. We're trying to isolate the glute muscle here. So you're just lifting the knee. And we're going to do 5 of these. So I'm opening on an inhale, closing on an exhale, which you tend to kind of release on the exhale. Okay. We've done 5 of those. And then let's extend the top leg out and inhale the right arm up and over. Get a nice little stretch there. You can almost lift the hip up to the ceiling. That gives that a nice little shamoo there. Beautiful. Swing it all back. Have a few breaths where you're completely released down. And then swivel yourselves over to the other side. Resting your head on your arm or your blanket or your cushion, whatever you've chosen. Stacking, people, stacking, ankles, knees. Check that hip. Send it away. So I'm sending that top hip towards my feet. And then you're lifting the knee. Nothing else moves. 5 of those. You can also, just as a thing, you can obviously also just lift it and hold it. So that can be a nice practice too. If you're working on your glutes, if you're working on anything, it's good to do both the movement thing and the hold thing. Okay. And then you extend that top leg away, and we're inhaling the left arm up and over. It's a nice stretch. I like that as a stretch. Bending the hip up to the sky. And then bring it all in and just taking a couple of breaths. Okay. So we're now just going to do a little bit of a relaxation, zhuzhi breathing thing. So if you want to come to lying, and again, you want to be really comfortable and you want to be really warm. That might look like, particularly if you've got a back thing going on. If you've got a back thing going on, raising your legs can be really helpful. The reason for that is because it gives more space in that lower back. So particularly if there's some compression in the vertebrae in the lower back, it can be really nice to raise your legs. I normally use 2 bolsters because my feet go numb. But most people have 2 bolsters. You want it underneath your knees. You want your bolster underneath your knees. And then you're super comfy like that. You can also put your legs on a chair. That can be really nice. Or up a wall. That can be really nice. They don't have to be straight. But all of these things, particularly if you it's particularly nice if you get your feet above your hips, because then all this weight, the weight of your legs sinks down through the hips, and that gives space in the lower back. So get yourself into a comfortable position, get something for your head, get a blanket, all of these things. So you might like to draw your chin towards your chest again and find the length through the back of your neck. Softening in the shoulders. And then come back to the breath. And as you inhale, notice the flaring of your nostrils. The expansion of the airways in your throat. The rib cage expanding sideways, front and back. And the rise of the belly. And maybe a sense of spaciousness in the pelvic bowl as you inhale. Whole torso expanding as you inhale. Softening and releasing as you exhale. Taking the attention to the top of your head. Softening in the crown. The scalp. Tuning into those sensations in the top of your head. Tingling, pulsating, shimmering. Broadening across your forehead. Skin smooth. Softening the eyelids, head. Releasing those little micro muscles around the eye. the cheekbones, the lower jaw, finding the space inside the tongue, and the lips. Shoulders melting like ice to water into the earth. And then maybe a sense of floating, water to gas. Awareness to the palms of the hands and the tips of your fingers. What do they feel like? What does the aliveness in your hands feel like? The soles of your feet and the tips of your toes. What do they feel like? Now seeing if you can feel the aliveness in the whole of your body, tapping into the sensations that fill the whole body. Trillions of cells expanding as you inhale, softening as you exhale. Trillions of cells dance. Feel the movement within. Feeling the back of your body in contact with the earth. And the front of your body, the air touching your skin. Notice the position you're lying in. Notice where you're lying. Picturing the room you're in. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, turning the head to the right. And back to center. And exhale. And the head to the right. And back to center. And then any other movement you'd like to bring in, maybe wriggling the fingers and the toes, maybe the wrists, the ankles. Maybe you want to stretch up, or maybe you want to curl, or maybe you want to do both. Whatever it feels right to do. And then rolling over onto your right side. And just having a couple more breaths here before you push yourself up completely in sitting. Taking the hands to prayer at the heart center, finding length through the crown and a softness in the shoulders. Nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, folding forward. Thanking Mother Nature. And then hands to prayer at the heart center again. Thank you very much.